Hello everyone and welcome to the Coregrounds. I am Emperor and I'm very happy to be able to show you guys the all-new version of Coregrounds, which will be coming to Steam very soon. Actually, the closed beta for the Steam version will start next Wednesday. So to get you guys in the mood and to give you a little sneak peek, I thought I'd give you a little tour of the new client. First of all, in this video, I'm gonna show you the client as a whole, and then we're gonna play a match and I'll showcase some of the new controls. So if you're interested in that, just skip ahead. And if not, welcome to the home screen, the starting point for all things you will do in the new Coregrounds client. Obviously you can play, but we're gonna do that later. I'm gonna show you all the other stuff, the meta game, so to speak. For now, for example, the modifications, you can, as you could before, you can set up modification pages and set up different kinds of modifications for each of these slots. Compared to the former client and the former game, nothing much has changed here. It looks a bit better, but apart from that, it's pretty much the same. It starts to get really different from the old version of Coregrounds as soon as we head into the unlock area, where you will be unlocking and getting more units to use in the game. You can see here, you pay these with credits. This is one of two currencies in the new version of Coregrounds. Previously, we only had one currency. In the new version, there's going to be two. So this, the credits, the one currency is used only for all things you can unlock and actually use in the game in terms of gameplay. It affects the gameplay. So new towers, minions, abilities, and modifications will affect your gameplay. Everything else bought with the new currency called Cordium will be having visual effects only. And these you will be unlocking in the store. So for example, colors are something you will now have to buy with the so-called premium currency, which is called Cordium in Coregrounds. This is a new development, something we are pretty sure is going to be good for the game though. To be honest, we need to make some money because making a game like this, a game as big as Coregrounds, it costs a lot of money and we need to get something back to be able to continue working on it. We've been working on Coregrounds for in total almost 3 years now, and we're yeah, we need some support to continue doing that. And we think the premium currency and the changes regarding in-game stuff and visual stuff is something that makes sense in the long run, and everyone will benefit from it, I reckon. We did not only add a new currency, of course, but also added some new stuff you can buy with that currency, obviously. One of the new things you already see here, we have started adding skins to the game. For now, it's going to be probably only wall skins and core skins, as skins for the units are going to be pretty complicated in terms of visual identification at a glance and being able to read the game well. It's a lot more complicated, but something like wall skins we can get totally crazy with. So expect some cool stuff coming in there. It looks a bit empty now, but it definitely won't stay that way. We'll be adding more stuff in the future. With our new currency, Cordium, you can also unlock player icons, for example, visible on your profile or on the end of game screen, for example, as well as backgrounds for your client or emotes to use in game. Apart from visual stuff you can unlock, you can also use the new premium currency to unlock more credits, to either get boosts for the credits you gain by playing matches, or also just by buying flat amounts. The premium currency Cordium itself, you will obviously buy with money to support the development of Coregrounds, and as a true indie project and a bootstrapped little enterprise, we do appreciate that support a lot, which is why we have created a special package to give you the chance to not only buy some premium currency, but to, I don't know, show your support for an indie game and a young indie project by buying that package, which not only gives you a whole lot of the Cordium to use in game, it also gives you an exclusive player icon, an exclusive player color, as well as an exclusive role on our Discord server and exclusive flair on our subreddit to show everyone that you're supporting the game. Of course, there is a lot more to the client, as for example, an extensive game guide. You can either read the full compendium and all the game rules. You can also just get a couple of tips to get you started. You can look at all the units and their stats. You can see which are free at the moment, and of course, as we've always loved data in Coregrounds, and we like to, I don't know, display it as much as possible. So there's the extensive match history still. It's a bit more beautiful, but still like you've known it if you've played Coregrounds before. There's the Coregrounds. Still, there's not much to show at the moment because we've reset the season, so this is going to be an entirely fresh season, obviously for the Steam version closed beta, as well as probably another new version once we do the full release. And yeah, things like the achievements still have a home, a huge overview of all the achievements you have gotten so far. There's the most recent news, there's the most recent video we've made, the change log with the most recent changes is always available, and some very important stuff as well. For tools for you to connect, we've decided to use Discord as one of our main community tools to get in touch with you, to allow you to influence the development of Coregrounds, and you can do that via Discord, our official server, or you can join us on Reddit and post there, and we'll also always have a little overview of stuff we're developing, things we know are issues at the moment, or features we're planning. So we try to be in touch with you as much as possible and to make this game as good as possible. I reckon this concludes our tour of the client, and I think we should be getting into game. You guys have probably been waiting for that all along, and I've been rambling about the client, which you probably don't find as interesting as the game. So let's jump right in there. And or maybe there's one thing I wanted to quickly touch on, because in the past the queue for Coregrounds has been a bit of a difficult thing, because you had to actually stay in the queue and just look at numbers going down and time getting longer and longer, and that's not really it's a bit frustrating, I reckon. So we definitely changed that. For now, if you're in the queue waiting for an opponent, you can still browse and use the rest of the client. There are some changes that might not get into the game. For example, if you're going to change your color while you're already in the queue, that is something that's probably not gonna persist into the game, at least it doesn't for now. But apart from that, you can use the client and do stuff while you're waiting for an opponent. I think that's a pretty important change. But we're not going to do that for now, but play a little match against the computer, against the bot. There's one bigger change here as well. In the past, bots have they were reacting a bit to the player skill, but not really. Now we do have bot levels. There's 100 different difficulty levels you will be competing against, and you will automatically, by defeating one, you will go to the next level. So without further ado, let's head into a bot match. I've set the bot to an easy difficulty, around 7 of 100, I think, to be able to maybe not necessarily win this game, but at least survive for long enough to be able to tell you guys something about the new client and changes to game mechanics and the like. So I'll not explain too much here in the draft phase, where we pick the units, which is basically pretty much the same as before, a bit more beautiful, a bit nicer in terms of the user interface, but nothing much has changed here. So I will just jump through that, selecting a few single target units, an AoE tower, a tanky minion and a shooting minion, maybe an aggressive ability, a defensive ability, and another defensive one, in order to be able to survive longer, to tell you about all the new stuff we have in game. So far there's not too much, but this will change in a second as we're loading up. And here we are. Welcome to the Coregrounds. The first thing, first click and you already see something here. This is visual feedback for the limit you have on building walls early. You didn't have any feedback for that before, so you have 7 free walls at the beginning of the game. Until you've built those, a part of the map is locked for you, and only afterwards you can build everywhere on the map if you're that far already. So you've seen already something new, something I'm actually very proud of. It's a tiny thing, but it makes a huge difference. Dragging and dropping units, not only from the interface to the map, also from on the map you can move towers just by dragging and dropping. You can drag and drop to spawn your minions. You can also select the minion factory and click the map to spawn multiple in succession, and maybe then do an upgrade afterwards. Or you can drag and drop. We've tried to think of every possible way for you to interact with the game, and try to find the way that you like best, and we're happily accepting your feedback. If you have ideas how we could further improve these controls, please don't hesitate to share that with us. But we sure hope that the changes we've made is something that you're going to like. It definitely, for us at least, it feels like it makes interacting with the game a lot easier. So you see a lot more stuff happening on the map already. For example, if you look at the vision, you'll see that there is these dark tiles where you have no vision at all, and there's these half vision tiles where you will see walls but no units, neither towers nor minions. You will see through this partially impaired vision, and that is one of the biggest changes we've done in terms of the gameplay and game mechanics. The whole game was the units were adjusted and changed, so they have pretty much less vision now, all of them, and it will be much more important for you to either use specific units to gain vision, or to keep or move your units or spawn minions at a certain time to know where the enemy is, how to on where to engage exactly. I think playing having to work with vision a lot more makes the game so much more interesting, and we're very excited to see how it will affect the gameplay. As with all the new changes, we're happily accepting feedback. Please tell us how you like it, what you think of it. But we're pretty happy about it, and I think we're gonna see a lot more exciting games due to these vision changes. Apart from new ways to control the game, like dragging and dropping, we have also changed overlays, which no longer block the map. If you select a unit and want to upgrade your phaser, for example, you no longer have a big overlay obstructing what you see on the map. That is a pretty exciting change. Even if you go into deeper menus, something like the target preferences for your units, that still everything will be down here in this user interface area. Speaking of target preferences, we have changed that as well. Apart from the ones you know before, low, high, first target modes, where your towers, for example, would target minions which have low health. You can also toggle unit types entirely. For example, if you have a tower that is leveled a lot, and you don't want it to steal the XP it gets from killing units from other towers which might need it more, you can just turn it off and no longer have that minion farm away precious XP from other towers that might need it more. Speaking of different ways of controlling the game, we have new keyboard shortcuts, apart from something like 1, 2, 3 to select your units, and something like Q and W and E to select your abilities. You also have the spacebar. Spacebar will randomly spawn all your minions that you have. You also have something like the tab key, which is very cool. You press tab to toggle to just tab through your units. So if you want to do many upgrades in quick succession, just press the tab key and toggle through all your units. And one other cool, it's maybe it didn't even you didn't even notice it so far, but something very cool is that little progress box down here. You see that? This displays the stacks for the lazoid, for example. And in this box we have actually several values we want to show you and display to you. It's not only the current amount of lazoids you can spawn, it also displays the progress of the current stack until the next one is completed, and it shows the progress towards the maximum. So you have 4, then the border is full. If you have 3, it's going to be less, 2 even less, and it's going to be completely at the bottom if you have 0. So you have all 3 values on a tiny amount of screen real estate, which I think is really exciting as well. Makes it a lot more easier to read the game. So you can concentrate on what's really important, your strategy. Speaking of which, I think I've set the bot on easy enough. It looks like this game might be winnable. I will help a bit here and try to win this. But even if I don't, I think I've covered all the important bases and the new things we have in terms of controlling the game. I think we can just... I'll spawn a few more minions, but I'll leave that for now. And really exciting it will become as soon as you're going to be on the Coregrounds, which again you will be. You can start to do next Wednesday, the 18th of April. We will start the closed beta for the Steam version at 6 p.m. CET actually. So if you're interested in that, we will happily invite you to our Discord server, where we will be distributing the keys for the closed beta. Just pop to our Discord server. You'll find the link on coregrounds.com, for example. Join the server and join our Steam closed beta channel. Drop your name there and we'll be handing out the keys on a first come, first served basis. And no matter when, if it be during, no matter if it's during the closed beta, if it's when we fully release the game, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the Coregrounds. I hope this video was informative and you liked it, and I hope to see you soon on the Coregrounds.